A fatal shooting involving Immigrations and Customs Enforcement in Minneapolis is now under investigation, and it's raising questions about accountability and oversight when officers use force and how that's questioned. There's a formal process that follows. A law enforcement official breaks down how those investigations work and what determines the next steps.
All officer-involved shootings, whether it's state, whether it's local, whether it's federal, we're all evaluated the same.
Brian Steele is the president of Fraternal Order of Police Capital City Lodge 9 in Central Ohio. He says the court will look through the eyes of what a reasonable officer would have done. In that same situation, use of force decisions are evaluated based on what an officer knew at that time, not what became clear afterwards.
And what's important, it's not with 2020 hindsight. Some of the factors they're going to consider was the severity of the crime.
When an officer uses force, the review process typically begins almost immediately. Departments first secure the scene and separate those involved. Any officer who fired a weapon is usually placed on administrative duty while the incident is reviewed. That step is procedural and does not imply wrongdoing. Investigators then begin collecting evidence that can include body-worn camera video, surveillance footage, radio traffic, witness statements, and forensic evidence from the scene. At the same time, supervisors and internal affairs units often conduct an administrative review to determine whether department policies were followed. That review focuses on training standards, decision-making, and whether the force used was considered reasonable under the circumstances. Steele says with an investigation like this, the FBI usually takes the lead. Prosecutors or independent investigators may also conduct a separate criminal review to determine whether any laws were violated, a process that can take weeks or months.
The federal agency also has something internal like we do in Columbus Police. A Columbus police officer, for example, shoots somebody, you have internal affairs will review it. The Department Inspector General will review it administratively. A grand jury will review it. Your chain of command will review it. Internal affairs will review it, and BCI will review it. And at times, the Department of Justice would review it if there is a claim of excessive force. I would expect that the federal partners are the same. There's many, many layers of scrutiny, and again, there should be. It's very, very important when we discharge our weapons that these are investigated. Number one, to see if we got it wrong or right, and to ensure public trust.
Investigators examine factors like perceived threats, officer positioning, and the immediacy of the situation. If investigators find policy violations, disciplinary action can range from retraining to termination. If prosecutors determine a crime may have occurred, charges can be filed separately. Because of the scope of these cases, Steele cautions the public against drawing conclusions before the full examination of evidence, policy, and law.
I come from a nonpartisan lens. I look through the law. I look at policies, I look at procedures, training, experience, and apply the facts to the law. And that's how I deduce my opinions in these matters.
For American Crossroads, I'm Samana Sheikh.